Hey guys, and welcome to another Blender tutorial. So today I'm going to be taking you guys through the whole process of modeling Finn the Human in Blender, and it's more of an intermediate level tutorial, so if you're really new this might be a bit tricky, but give it a shot anyway. And I won't be making any of this stuff available on Patreon just simply because it's fan art, so it wouldn't be cool to do that. And also as far as the one thing I won't show in the tutorial to do is just simply adding in this rig here, this bendy bone rig, just to bend the arms down. Now that is not a big deal. I'll add a link in the description below to some of my other videos where I show how to do this and other stuff, so go ahead, just look at that. So not a big issue there, but yeah, let's get into this. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I would also recommend you open up some reference images on your computer, just search on Google and just to have a look at them before you get into modeling, just a little bit of a reference for you guys. So yeah, fun little project. Let's get in. Okay, so first of all, go ahead and open up a new scene in Blender, and on my left monitor I have some reference images open of Finn the Human. I would recommend that you get some reference images online as well. I'm not actually going to show them on the screen just because in case of copyright purposes. So what we're going to do first of all in our default scene is select the default cube, obviously. And for this default cube, we're going to hit 1, go into our front orthographic view, and we're going to be working with a mirror modifier. It's going to save us a bit of time. So let's tab into edit mode. And what we're going to do is just go over to mirror modifier, and we're going to give this guy a mirror modifier. And for all of this geometry selected, we're just going to go GX, move it over, just something like this, and then go to your face select on this face here, hit X and delete that face. Enable clipping and hit A just to select all of the geometry, and then if you go GX, you can slide these two together and you can see them merging. So we're going to merge them back just so it almost looks like a full cube again, so not too rectangular, just something like that. In fact, you can look at the grid spacings here for reference. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our edge select here. We're going to add in some loops. So we're going to go Control R. So Control R is going to add in a loop cut. If you hover over here, see a yellow line appearing, just double click. It's going to add in that line. And then we're going to go and hit G, double G twice. So just hitting G twice, sliding this guy over. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit A to select everything, and then S, Y, and scale it in on the Y a bit. So about this much. Just like that. And now what we're going to do is go to our face select and select this face here. And then we're going to go E to extrude it up to here. And then what we want to do is select this face here. We're going to go G, X, and move it out in the X a little bit. And then we're going to select this face up here, G and X, move it out a little bit like that. So as you can see, we're creating this shape right here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, Control R, and just roll in. So roll your middle mouse button. So once, twice, adding in 3 cuts. Then we're going to go S. In fact, select these bottom edges as well. I'm just holding Shift while I'm doing this. And then we're going to go S, Y, and scale it out in Y a little bit. Like that. And once we've done that, we're just going to select this one here in the middle, and these two. And we're going to go G, X, move them out a little bit more. And then just this one here by itself, and move it out a little bit more. So we're just trying to create the kind of rough shape of his body, or his head. And then we're going to go to our face select here, and at this point we want to select this face here, holding Shift select this face here, and then we want to go E to extrude it in a little bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our edge select. We're going to select this edge over here at the top that we've created, go to your front view, then we're going to go G and move it up to here, select this guy here, that edge, move it into here, and we're just creating the rough start of the face. And I'm going to grab this guy at the bottom here, this edge, G, Z, and bring it down. And working really low poly just at first, it's just going to save us a bit of, make things a bit easier up front. We're also going to come here, Control R, add in a loop cut here. And then we're going to select these edges here, and we're going to go G, X, and just move them out a little bit. And we're just rounding things out. We're then going to grab this guy here and this guy here, double G just to slide those edges, and do the same thing with these guys at the back. Double G, just slide them in a bit. And yeah, that should be it for now. So what we're going to do as well is we're going to come here to our face select these bottom faces, just holding in Shift, go E just to extrude it down a bit, and then X and delete those faces. So now I know it's not quite looking like Finn the human, but we're got to keep working on it. So we're going to go S, Y with these guys at the top, G, Z, bring them down a bit, and then E to extrude them up, and then S, Y, or S, X, or sorry, S, Y, scale them in on the Y a bit. So we're just creating the top part of his hat here. We can mess around with it a little bit later. Go to your edge select, Shift Alt, just click on this loop of edges here and just scale it a bit maybe. So just look at your reference images and try and match it up as closely as possible. And once you've done that, we're going to go to our modifiers tab and add a subdivision surface modifier. It's going to smooth things out a little bit for us. And now what we're going to do is go back to edit mode, and we're going to come in here, and in fact let's go to the vertex select option. We're going to hit K on our keyboard, and that's going to bring up the cut tool. So hit K. I'm going to come click on there, click on this edge here, click on this one here, this guy here as well, then this edge, click on this edge, and then click on this edge down here. It's going to add in one more loop around here like that. Okay, so for some reason I've added one in here, so I'm just going to get rid of these guys here, solve edges. So just adding this loop around here. If you go Shift Alt and you click on here, it's going to select this loop of vertices here, and we're going to go double G. We're just going to slide them in like this, just to smooth things, tighten things up around the edges here. And we can just select these guys here, and we're going to hit F3, select these two vertices here, hit F3 and type in merge, and then we click on merge, and we're going to merge at center. And this is going to do the same thing with these two up here, so we can get rid of these triangles. So we're going to hit F3, go to merge, and at center. And that's just going to tighten that up in here a little bit for us. Okay, so let's just have a look. Okay, so I've messed things up down here. Just going to quickly get rid of the mirror modifier and the subdivision surface modifier. So I've just added in these double edges here. If you accidentally did that, just select those edges and go X and just dissolve edges just to clean that up. It's not that big of a deal. So anyway, so here we have the face starting. So we're going to select this vertex in the middle, Control plus to grow it. And then we're going to go E to extrude it in a bit more, and then X, and just delete faces. We don't need to see that. And what we're going to do is we're going to select these vertices at the bottom. Go to your, hit Control 7 or Command 7 to go to the bottom orthographic view. We're going to go G and just move that in a bit. And do the same thing with these two here. We just want to smooth them out just a little bit. They're standing out a little bit too much. So just bringing those corners in a little bit. Okay, so, and we're also going to select these bottom vertices and just move them out a little bit more. And the whole time here, I'm just kind of looking back and forth with my reference images. So also going to grab these vertices here, double G just to slide them like that. Okay, so let's go to our object and enable shade smooth as well in object mode. And yeah, for now we have something that we can work with, but let's add in the face for now. So we're going to go Shift A and we're going to go to our sphere, add in a UV sphere. We're going to go RX90, hit enter. And then we're going to go S, Z, and scale it down onto Z like this, just so it fits in there. We're then going to go S, and we're going to go Y and scale this down into Y to flatten it. G, Y, and move this guy forward. So it's sitting right in there like that, right? And then we're going to grab this guy, tab into edit mode. Then we're going to select this vertex in the middle, vertex, go Control plus to grow the selection. Then we're going to go S, Z, and scale these guys down, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into our wireframe mode. We're going to hit B to box select. We're going to select all of these vertices here on the side. Go X and delete vertices. And now we're going to give this guy a mirror modifier and enable clipping. So now, if we select this middle vertex, we're going to go, okay, just leave that middle vertex in there for now. Well, we're going to select this one right over here, and we're going to enable our proportional editing. Then we're going to go G and roll our middle mouse button. That's going to shrink or grow the fall off. So I'm going to go and move this guy up like this. Select the one at the bottom and just bring that down. We're just rounding the edge of this mouth out a little bit. And once again, I'm just looking at my reference images like I would recommend you guys do as well. Just moving these guys. So we're rounding this out a little bit like that, as you can see. And then we're going to just select this middle vertex, go Control plus just to grow the selection. Then we're going to go E to extrude it in, just like that. And then we're going to go E to extrude and then S to scale. Oh, but first of all, disable proportional editing. So then go S to scale. And then we're going to go E to extrude in like that. As you can see. Then E to extrude and then S to scale again. And then GX, just bring that in a bit. So creating the mouth. When we come over here, Control R, add in another loop cut. Double G, just slide it closer to the mouth. And then Control R, add in one here as well. Let's give this guy a subdivision surface modifier. And then tab out of edit mode, go to object and enable shade smooth. So we can see here we have things starting to come together. With this guy, we're going to select the hat again. Let's just give it a, in the subdivision surface modifier, let's just bump the viewport up to 2 to smooth things out a little bit more. And let's just also tab back into edit mode. Shift Alt, click on this edge, this loop of vertices here, just select them around the edge here, and then double G and just slide them out a little bit more. And slide them out as much as you need to smooth out this as much as is needed. So I think if it's too close, it's a bit too tight. So just something like that, hitting double G. And yeah, so now at this point, we could probably just grab these vertices here and just enable proportional editing and just bring them out a little bit more. Just like that. So just messing around with it, trying to get it looking as much as we can like the reference image. And bringing this guy up. Maybe grab these guys here, just bring them out. So spend as much time as you want with this. And also if you hit 5 on your number pad, you can go into orthographic view. And in orthographic view, you're going to see a more accurate kind of like picture of what this is going to look like when we eventually see it in the camera view, because we've been working in our perspective the whole time. So also coming to the view here at the right, so hit 3 to go into your right orthographic view. I'm going to select these 3 vertices here, go G, and just move them back. As you can see, grab this guy, move it back a little bit more. So just trying to bring this in a little bit here as well. So if you go to the right side, you can kind of see the face is revealed a little bit here. And grab these 2 here at the front, G, and then Y, move them forward a bit. So just like that. And what we're going to do now is tab back into object mode, selected this face over here. And then we're going to tab to edit mode, and I think we need to make this mouth a bit bigger. So select this loop of vertices here, Control plus, just grow the selection till everything in the mouth is selected, then Control minus just to shrink it. So now, as long as we have all of these vertices selected in the mouth, we're going to go S. Let's disable proportional editing. We're going to go S to scale it up, and then G to move it out a bit, and then S to scale it. So just trying to get the size of it correct here. So maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe I can enable proportional editing. Select this bottom vertex here. Just bring this lip down so it doesn't look like he's frowning. Just kind of giving him a neutral pose here. Bringing the mouth out a little bit. So just creating the mouth here. In fact, I'm going to grab the corner vertex here, go G, and just move it back a little bit. Just like that. In fact, grab a loop of vertices here, go to your right orthographic view, go G, and just move them in a bit, just to flatten that out. Okay, so let's add in the eyes. So we're going to go Shift A in our object view, and we're going to add in a UV sphere, go S to scale it down. This just gives this guy a mirror modifier. Click on a little eyedropper and then select the head here, and then we're going to go G, it moves us over to the side. Then S to scale it down. Hit 3 on your number pad, and then go to your right orthographic view. Then go G, Y, and move this forward. And then go to Object and enable Shade Smooth. And for now, I'm going to give these things placeholder materials. So we're just going to, with the eyes selected, click on this material tab, go New. Let's just call it Eyes. I'm also just going to go down to the viewport display and just give it a black color in the viewport display. And then I'm going to select the face here, go New, go down to the viewport display and just give it the color that matches the reference image. In this case, it's kind of like this kind of blush color. And then just select the hat and it already has a material by default because we made it out of the default cube. So I'm just going to call it hat, and let's just leave it at white. So select the face again, and with that material we created for the face, let's just call it blush, so we know what it is. So now we have these viewport placeholder materials. Also just going to select the face, tab into edit mode, select this vertex at the back, Control plus, just to grow the selection till we select all the vertices inside of the mouth. Hit on the little plus here, go new and assign, call it mouth. Just go down in our viewport display and just give it a viewport display color that matches. So I'm going to go with kind of like this kind of darker kind of reddish pink, just like that. And we can see it's starting to really look like Finn the human here. So let's move his eyes back a little bit more into the head. And now what we're going to do is add his little eyebrows. So we're going to just simply go Shift A, add in a plane. We're going to go RX90 and hit enter. And then we're going to go S just to scale it down, and then G, move it over the eye here. Then we're going to go G, Y, move it forward. And then with this plane selected, holding in Shift, we're going to select the eye, and we're going to go Control L, or sorry, Control J. So now we've joined that plane to the eye here. Tab into edit mode, and then select a vertex on the plane, go Control L. That's going to select everything. And then disable proportional editing, and then go S to scale it down. Bring it over here, just so it sits on top. And then we're going to select these two vertices here, and we're going to go E to extrude them, and then R to rotate, S to scale them a bit, and then select these two here, E to extrude them out, and then R to rotate them, S to scale them a little bit. Then we're just going to hit Control L again to select all of that. Go to hit 7 to go to your top orthographic view, G, move it in here, and then R to rotate it, and we're just trying to line that up with the face here. Go to your right view kind of, and then just rotate it a little bit. So just trying to match it up here, like that. We're going to go E to extrude it out. And once you have that done, you're going to hit Control L again. Everything is selected there. We're going to hit P, and we're going to separate by selection. Tab out of edit mode, so we're back in object mode. Select the eyebrow here, and then go to your modifiers tab. And on top of this, we're going to add a subdivision surface modifier. Go to object and enable shade smooth. You can also come over here to your, with this eyebrow selected, and also in the viewport display, just bump it up to 2, and that'll smooth things out even a little bit more. So here you can see we have his eyes, his eyebrows, his mouth, and his hat. So the next part, we're going to start getting into making his body, which is really simple as well. Okay, so with the body, we just want to select the hat, and then we're going to tab into edit mode. We're going to go Shift Alt and click on the bottom loop of vertices to select them all. And with the body, it's quite simple. We're just going to go, first of all, let's just flatten this out a bit. So we're going to go S, Z, and just scale it down in the Z a bit first. So it's a bit more flat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go E to extrude, and then Z, and we're going to scale this down on the Z a little bit. And then we're going to go E, Z, and extrude it down again. And we're going to extrude it down this time about this much. So to create the body here. So it needs to be a little bit longer than the head. So just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to go Control R and add in a loop here. So just hold your mouse cursor here, Control R, double click, and then if you go Alt and S, you can scale this in on the normals. So Alt S and scale it in a little bit like that. That's going to just create this little division here, making it kind of stand apart from the head. We're going to come in here now, go Control R, double click, and then double G and slide up another loop to here just to tighten that up a bit. Don't want to tighten it too much. We're then gonna, holding Shift and Alt, also select this bottom loop of vertices. So we got this one and this one selected. Then we're gonna go Alt S and just scale it out a little bit. Just like that. We're also gonna then select this vertex here, G, and bring it in a bit, and this guy as well, just to smooth out the corners there. We don't want it to look too square, if that makes sense. In fact, we're gonna select this one here and this one here. Enable proportional editing, and then just go over here, G, and just bring those two in. Roll your middle mouse button to create a bit more fall off. It's just smoothing out these corners here a little bit. We don't want them to be too sharp. Like that, just rounding the body out a little bit. And let's add a placeholder material. So just select all of these parts in here. This is go to our materials tab in edit mode, get the plus, click new, Let's call this shirt, and then assign it, and let's just go down to our viewport display and just give it a viewport display color so we can see it's been applied. I'm just giving it this kind of blue color, and there we have that. So what we're going to do now is probably make the pants as well. So that's going to be kind of a similar thing. So tab back to edit mode, Shift Alt click on this loop of edges, vertices here, go Shift D to duplicate it, and then right click to let go. Then we're going to go E and Z, extrude that down to here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go E to extrude again, just disable proportional editing. Then we're going to go Alt S and just S by itself. We're going to scale this in, and then we're going to go G and we're going to go X and move this in a little bit, just like that. Then we're going to go G and then we're going to go Z and just bring that down a bit. Now if we go to our edge select, we're going to select this edge here, holding and Shift select this edge here. We're going to hit F to fill that. I'm going to come in here, go Control R to add in a cut. Then we're going to go Shift Alt, click on this loop of edges here. Then we're going to go Control F or Command F, and we're going to go to Grid Fill. That's going to fill that in for us. So let's just select, go Control Plus just to grow the selection. So we have all of these bottom parts here selected. And let's just go click on the little plus, go New. Let's just call this Pants. And let's just go Assign, and let's give this guy a bit of a darker blue like that. And that's going to be the pants. Let's go back into object mode, go to object and enable shade smooth. So now we've added the pants part here. So I'm just having a look here at the side of the reference images. It looks about right, but what I think I need to do is tab into edit mode, enable proportional editing, and then go to the vertex select option. And just select two vertices here at the side, and then go G in your front view and just move this out a little bit more. The pants do need to come a little bit wider. And then we'll also come here, Control R, and roll in 2 or 3 loop cuts. And then just select these guys at the front here. And then G, bulge them out a little bit more. And move some of these guys at the back. Just keep them flat. They don't have to go out too much. Just trying to create the body shape here. And this is starting to look really good. So the next part is going to be adding in the arms and the legs, and making him kind of, putting all the little bits together.